The idea always initially was for both of us to adopt right away.
Found out about Naya when she was about 1.5 years. She was in a public orphanage.
My parents actually work and live in Ghana. My mom sent me a text message with Naya's picture on it and said, heard about this little girl, she might be able to be adopted.
Took about 1 year before we were able to meet her in Ghana and adopt her over there. It was actually because of her disabilities and medical issues that we were able to adopt her. The country had closed to adoption of children without medical issues.
And it was pretty much love at first sight.
Naya has an extremely dynamic personality.
Friendly, she's a very loving girl. She loves having friends around and she loves people.
Just absolutely thrives on interaction with people.
Probably her 2 favorite things in the world are music and dancing. Her 3rd favorite thing is probably her brother. They are best friends. 99% of the time she is bubbly, giggly, happy girl.
We knew that Naya had some pretty obvious health struggles. We didn't know what they were.
A lot of her medical history is kind of a mystery.
The reports that had been done were very, very minimal, like very simple.
Coming from Africa and a place in a third world country to America is quite a blessing as far as medical care goes. We first took her in to kind of get an overall checkup, and then after that we're kind of referred to a couple specialists at Children's.
We see many specialists at Children's Wisconsin.
We met with Dr. Gindi.
I first met Naya when she was 3 years old. As you know, she was adopted at an early age, and by the time she saw me, because of a lot of other medical issues and some learning difficulties, she had already undergone some genetic testing, and they identified that she had a genetic abnormality. We did a heart ultrasound or an echocardiogram, and we identified several different heart problems that weren't picked up before. With that information, we talked to the parents and recommended that she undergo a procedure to help at least close the hole and improve some of the work on the heart.
Naya has had many issues, from eye issues requiring eye surgeries. She has a couple congenital cardiac issues, one of which that required a surgical repair.
So she underwent a cardiac catheter procedure shortly after that visit, and she did well after that. And since then, we've been following her closely to look at her heart muscle, to make sure her heart function is okay.
It was quite amazing just how fast that process took place and just how important people at Children's considered her life. Initially, when she first went to school, she started in a K-4 program, and we knew she was having some developmental delays and other things, but she hadn't been formally diagnosed with autism yet.
I remember sending her knowing that I was happy that she was getting the social experience because she was happy, but it was hard knowing that she maybe wasn't getting much more out of it than that it was primarily just kind of the high of a social experience for her, but that she wasn't doing the things that her peers were doing and that she wasn't learning the foundational things that they were learning. So
kind of going into school was a trial and error type situation.
We know there's a clear association between having a lot of medical conditions or needing medical procedures early in life and how that impacts the development of a child.
Naya and Nora came into the program in 2016, and it was in the springtime, kind of towards the end of the school year. Naya was due for an IEP meeting, and she was being seen by the special needs complex care team at the hospital.
I remember we were at an appointment at Children's Wisconsin in the complex care team, and they had called Kyle down. I'll be honest, it was kind of just a peripheral thought to me, like, okay, here they are. I don't really know what they can do.
When we first became involved, I don't think she was too sure how we could add to the mix because there was already so much going on for Naya.
And Naya's, she has so much going on. I guess I couldn't imagine how the program could fit into the whole picture of who Naya is and what she needed. When I had gathered more resources and had a better idea of what I was trying to advocate for Naya to receive in school, and thought that maybe they could be a support to me in this, and it turned out to be exactly that and more.
We had a long conversation with our parent interview about where Naya was struggling, both medically, developmentally, psychosocially, and academically, and sort of what Nora thought she needed for supports.
The support of an occupational therapist and a speech therapist and a special ed teacher.
Her sign use was pretty limited. She had a few key signs that she would use. We would choose maybe between 2 and 5 core vocabulary words to focus on for the week, and as a team we would just kind of inundate her with that vocabulary through oral language, through sign use, and then through her augmentative communication device as well.
I showed up to a meeting at the end of her first grade year, and it was at least 18 people. That also too is where we met Christy, who works with Children's Hospital, and she provided us a ton of resources that we could bring back to our school and also share with our assistants that work with her, our health aide. So it really just allowed us to be prepared for her needs and get her ready.
Knowing that there are so many resources available, and really anytime we have a question, we just call, and it's pretty easy to get an answer pretty quickly.
I wasn't aware that there was a team like EAPP to coordinate with the schools until the team showed up at one of our IEP meetings, and from then on I felt as if we had some support from Naya's medical background, which is such a big part of Naya because she's got so many needs.
From what I have observed and been a part of, it has been a great program. I've seen it help Naya tremendously.
And her sign use has really grown significantly, so she's learned a lot of sign. I feel that any team having a strong knowledge of somebody's medical needs is of utmost importance, really, to be able to provide a quality program that really meets the child's needs.
The impact of improving their school performance really translates to better mood. It improves sometimes their perception of their physical symptoms and improves their quality of life.
The combination of doctors and therapists and teachers and just everybody working together has really made her life night and day difference from when she first came home. That really, for me, kind of the whole picture was really encouraging for me to see how many people just care about her and care about her journey.
Not only has Naya improved with her behavior and her communication within the classroom setting, she's also able to communicate in the same way in her home environment.
The plan that the program helped us put in place has not only been empowering to me, but also to my little son, who is 5 going on 6. Now my son has tools to interact with her more.
If I look at sign use and verbal output, I would say she has probably between 200 and 300, maybe 350 words, which is really good.
And she's continuing to learn and grow and thrive.
That's my biggest dream for her to be able to live her life how she wants to, that she can accomplish what she wants to, and not just what I want for her.